At 2 a.m., my retired detective neighbor banged on my door, his hands shaking. Pack a bag. You're coming with me. He said the new couple across the street drove government cars and watched my house in shifts. I called a friend at the FBI. He went silent. Then he said, "Get him out now." My neighbor whispered, "I don't know what you did, but..." It was 2:03 a.m. when the pounding on our front door shattered the quiet. Not the kind of knock you ignore. This was urgent, desperate even. I was already halfway down the stairs when Lacey flicked the bedroom light on behind me. "Silas," she called. "What is it?" "Stay upstairs," I said sharply, my voice low. My military instincts from a lifetime ago kicked in like a switchblade opening. I glanced through the peephole. Vernon Hale, my 70-year-old neighbor from across the street. He looked haunted. When I opened the door, Vernon pushed inside without asking. His flannel pajamas were soaked from the knees down, like he'd been running through the frostbitten grass barefoot. "Pack a bag. You're coming with me right now." "What the hell's going on?" Vernon bolted the door behind him, glanced out the window. "You see that couple that moved in last month? The ones in the black Suburban?" His voice cracked. "They're not neighbors. They're not even civilians. Government plates. Unmarked. I've been watching them, Silas. 4-day surveillance rotation. 24/7 coverage. Heat vision, parabolic mics, the whole nine." Lacey had followed me downstairs by then, tightening her robe. "Wait, who's watching us?" "What?" "I called a friend at the bureau," Vernon said, turning to me. "Celeste Marrow. Used to work organized crime. Solid. I gave her your address." She went dead quiet for 15 seconds. Then she said, and I quote, "Get him out now. Burn this number." I froze. "Vernon, what the hell is this about?" "I don't know what you did," he whispered, eyes locked on mine, "but whatever it is, someone wants it buried. And they're not here to arrest you, Silas. They're here to erase you." 3 months ago, I ran a security audit for a defense tech company called Keystone Arc. Just a freelance gig. Mostly routine. Network penetrations, physical access compliance, firewall penetration. But their offsite backup server had files that didn't make sense. Too many clearance markers. A military-grade encryption protocol labeled Cassius X. I did what I was trained to do, pull the files, flag them, and send a report through official channels. But nobody followed up, not even a call back. Until tonight. "How many watching?" I asked Vernon as I grabbed the go bag I kept under the bed, just in case. 4-man teams. 2 cars. Rotating shifts. Professional. Quiet. I loaded my encrypted drive in my laptop and sealed it in a Mylar sleeve. This wasn't paranoia. This was war. Lacey didn't argue. She grabbed her emergency bag like we'd rehearsed it. She looked pale but steady. "Where's your car?" I asked Vernon. "In my garage. Use the back fence. I've already opened the slats." We moved fast. I disabled all phones, powered down the smart thermostat, and yanked the battery from the Wi-Fi router. In the kitchen, I grabbed the emergency cash I'd stashed behind the spice rack for $1,000 in small bills. We crossed through Vernon's backyard in darkness. The dew made the grass slick. In the garage, he tossed me the keys to his late wife's old Honda Accord. No GPS registered under her maiden name. Clean. "Come with us," Lacey pleaded. He shook his head. "Can't. Someone has to play it normal. Make it look like you left in a panic. Delay the timeline." Then Vernon pulled something from his coat pocket. A burner phone. 1 number. Celeste Marrow. "She's the only one I trust. You get 1 call. Use it when it counts." As I opened the car door, Vernon said one more thing. "The woman across the street? She's ex-CIA. The man, his entire file's redacted. Celeste said her clearance couldn't even open it. This isn't surveillance, Silas. This is black bag territory. You understand me?" I nodded. He gave me a tight hug. "I've known you 8 years. Whatever you found, it's worth killing for. So make sure it's worth surviving for." As I drove away, headlights off, crawling through the side streets of Fargo, I glanced back. The house, the life we built, everything we were, disappearing behind us. And next to me, Lacey finally said what we were both thinking. "They're not coming to arrest you." "No," I said. "They're coming to erase me." 3 hours later, we were holed up in a dingy truck stop outside Grand Forks. Lacey was in line buying food. I connected my laptop through a mobile hotspot I bought with cash. I decrypted 1 file. Then another. By the sixth file, I understood what I'd found. Keystone Arc wasn't just a defense contractor. It was a front, and the files I copied weren't just classified. They documented a rogue program codenamed Cassius X, a domestic assassination network targeting U.S. citizens under internal threat provisions. They were tracking journalists, whistleblowers, judges, and someone named Silas Rourke. Me? Still reading? Tell me this. If you found out your own government signed your death warrant, what would you do? Leave me a comment with your city and what you'd risk to expose it. And make sure you like and subscribe. You don't want to miss what comes next. Lacey returned to the booth with a paper bag full of food and 2 black coffees. The look on my face must have said everything. Worse than you thought? She asked, sliding into the seat across from me. I didn't answer right away. Just turned the laptop so she could read. She stared at the file header, Project, Cassius X Access Level, DDC IOTA, 5 Authorizing Entity, Magnus Kroll, Deputy Director, Homeland Tactical Command Initiative Objective, Neutralization of Domestic Threats via Black Directive Execution, and below that, Target Status, Active Monitoring Subject. Silas Rourke, she whispered. What the hell is this? I scrolled down. Look at the other names. There were 48 total. Some names had check marks beside them. Most I didn't recognize. But 3 stood out. Lorraine Haskell, freelance journalist, killed in a car accident in Utah. Jacob Teague, IRS whistleblower, missing since January. Wes Linwood, ex-EIA, suicide, they said. All with check marks. All dead, I said. Just like Vernon said. This isn't counterterrorism. This is a kill list. Lacey's hands trembled as she picked up her coffee. Who's Magnus Kroll? She asked. I brought up his personnel file. He looked like a TV politician. Silver hair, tailored suit, fake concern. Ex-Navy intelligence. Founder of Homeland Tactical Command Initiative, a deep shield agency nobody in the public knew about. Kroll turned this operation into his private execution squad. And Keystone Arc's just the smokescreen. But why are you on it? She asked. I leaned back. Because I found this list. I opened the burner phone and dialed the only number programmed into it. 2 rings. Then a voice. This is Marrow. Celeste. This is Silas Rourke. Vernon Hale gave me this phone. A beat of silence. Then, you're still alive. That's a surprise. I've seen the Cassius X files. Kroll's entire playbook. Don't say that name again over the phone, she hissed. Where are you? Safe enough for now. I need to know what I'm dealing with. Celeste sighed. Okay, you want the truth? Homeland Tactical Command isn't monitored by Congress. Their budget is buried inside emergency preparedness and pandemic relief. They're supposed to flag high-threat anomalies. But instead, they're eliminating inconvenient people. Exactly. You're not a criminal. You're a loose end. You found something they can't afford to exist. Which means they'll chase you until you're either discredited or dead. I looked at Lacey. What can I do? You need to find leverage. Proof beyond what you've already got. Something public. Something they can't bury. I know someone who might help, I said. His name was Dean Kavanaugh. We'd served together in the 407th Intelligence Wing. After the Army, he moved into private protection, working for people with deeper pockets than morality. We hadn't spoken in years, but I saved his life once in Helmand Province. I hoped that still meant something. I sent a signal through an encrypted channel only he and I ever used. Need you. Full exposure play. Top-level heat. You in. Less than 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed. A single response. Where do I meet you? By noon, we were in a rented storage unit on the outskirts of Duluth, Minnesota. Lacey slept in the back seat while I used a burner laptop to start decoding the deeper layers of the files. That's when I found it. A subdirectory titled Delta Echo. I opened it. Inside, real-time surveillance logs. GPS pings, facial recognition images, intercepted texts. All time-stamped. All targeting me. Subject Rourke stopped at truck stop 5:38 a.m. No sign of device activity. Suspect use of burner. Unidentified female, presumed spouse, with subject. They knew where we were. Even now, that's when I realized I hadn't escaped. I was being monitored, herded, like an animal, or a test subject. I slammed the laptop shut. Lacey, get up. We're moving again. Later that day, we met Dean in an abandoned ranger station deep inside Superior National Forest. He looked older, beard streaked with gray, but his eyes were still razor-sharp. I read the files, he said, tossing his bag down. Jesus Christ, Silas, you picked a fight with the devil. Tell me something I don't know. I know someone who can help. She's a journalist. Blair Sutton. Works off-grid now, but she's done exposés on drone warfare, contract corruption. She knows how to vet sources and publish deep state dirt without getting killed. What's her angle? She lost her brother. Iraq war cover-up. She doesn't trust suits anymore. She'll be a target the moment she helps us. Dean shook his head. She's already on the list. Number 32. We reached Blair that night. A cabin in Wisconsin, lit only by lanterns and a wood stove. She didn't flinch when I handed her the drive. She just said, "Took you long enough." I paused. You knew I'd come? No, but someone did. She handed me a second flash drive. This was sent to me anonymously 6 months ago. It's the same kill list. Redacted. Yours has names. Mine had locations. I stared at the map overlay she loaded on her screen. Dean, these are safe houses, he said. Command centers. Asset handlers. Weapon caches. This is Kroll's operational footprint. Blair leaned forward. You want to destroy Kroll? You'll have to make him burn his own network. From the inside, I felt something click in my brain. This wasn't just survival anymore. It was revenge. Kroll tried to wipe me off the map. Instead, he built me a roadmap to his own destruction. Magnus Kroll stared at a black and white surveillance photo of me and Lacey taken at the truck stop. He smiled faintly. I want the hunter sent in, he told his assistant. Salazar. Yes. Ray Salazar. Sir, Salazar doesn't ask questions. He doesn't stop. Kroll didn't blink. Exactly. Dean was checking the perimeter when Lacey came to sit next to me. She'd been quiet for hours. I'm scared, she said. Me too. But I'm not running anymore. I want to be part of this. I looked at her. Really looked. And for the first time since that knock on our door, I realized something. They'd underestimated me. They'd underestimated us. Because they thought they were hunting a tech guy with no backup. But what they actually did was wake up a ghost from military intelligence and give him a reason to burn everything down. The first time I heard his name was over scrambled police chatter. Ray Salazar, a name said with fear. Even among FBI task forces and hardened criminals, it carried weight. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't even a traditional cleaner. He was the last face a problem saw before vanishing without a footprint. Dean caught the frequency first, an encrypted burst disguised as NOAA weather alerts. When he decrypted it, his face turned to stone. They've sent Salazar, he said, handing me his comms unit. I listened to the coded transmission. Target Rourke. Active trace. Engage and erase. No recovery needed. Package greenlit by MK. I already knew who MK was. Magnus Kroll. He wasn't just trying to silence me. He was turning up the heat, bringing in the man who didn't leave survivors. Dean dropped a map of the region on the cabin table. He won't come through the front door. He'll burn the whole county down first. We need to disappear. Again. I shook my head. No, Lacey turned sharply. Silas, are you serious? I leaned forward. If we run, we'll never stop. But if we stay and trap him, Dean's eyes narrowed. You want to bait Ray Salazar? No, I said. I want to expose him. We don't just fight back. We make Kroll sweat. Make him wonder who's next. I showed them the map Blair had compiled, cross-referenced with Dean's military contacts. 23 locations. Safe houses. Relay hubs. Staging areas. All part of Kroll's shadow network. We didn't need all of them. Just one. We staked out a 2-story ranch house near a frozen quarry. Satellite feeds suggested it was a communications node, a relay station for encrypted ops, minimal heat signatures, light rotation. One guard posted every 6 hours. Perfect. Dean, Lacey, and I took position at midnight. By 2:17 a.m., we'd infiltrated the perimeter. Inside, we found exactly what we needed. Comms logs, operator rosters, and most importantly, proof of federal payroll rerouted to offshore banks under fake names. Kroll wasn't just running assassinations. He was profiting off them. And then I found something that made my stomach drop. A dossier labeled Operation glass house. Target, Celeste Marrow, the one agent who still trusted me. She was marked for elimination. ETA, 48 hours. I called her burner immediately. Celeste, it's me. You need to move. They're coming. She was silent. Then, I already knew, but I needed confirmation. You've got it. I'll send you proof. Don't. Meet me instead. There's someone I want you to talk to. Who? A man inside Kroll's own circle. Someone who wants out. My pulse quickened. Where? She gave me the coordinates. Cass Lake, Minnesota. 24 hours. Ray Salazar was already watching us. He'd found the cabin. He didn't rush. Didn't call for backup. That wasn't his way. He just watched from the trees, whispering to no one. You've done well, Silas. But everyone breaks. And when you do, I'll be the one standing over your ashes. We met Celeste in a decaying cabin that looked abandoned from the outside. Inside stood a man with an oxygen tank, one leg, and eyes that had seen too much. Name's Dwight Larkin, he said. Used to be Kroll's cleanup guy before Salazar took over. I saw what they did to my brother, a whistleblower who spoke up about drone strikes on American soil. They made it look like an overdose. I cleaned his blood off the hotel carpet myself. My throat went dry. I'm done cleaning for them, Dwight said, and I'm going to help you bury that bastard. He handed me his seal drive, every ops order I kept for insurance. You expose this, Kroll burns. And Salazar? He'll lose his funding. No more toys. No more contract. Dean scanned the files. Holy hell, he muttered. This is the key. But Celeste didn't look relieved. She looked past us, out the window. She pulled her sidearm. We have to move. Now. What is it? I asked. She didn't answer. But I saw it, the glint in the trees. I tackled Lacey just as the window exploded inward. Dean fired twice out the back door. Celeste threw a smoke canister toward the tree line. Move, she shouted. We escaped through a half-collapsed shed, Dwight limping behind us, dragging his oxygen tank. Celeste covered our retreat, while Dean led us toward the marsh. Behind us, Ray Salazar watched through his scope, lowering it with a smile. No more running, Silas. Next time I don't miss. We made it to an abandoned ranger station 10 miles out before sunrise. Dwight handed me a bloodied flash drive, his hand shaking. He's not just an assassin, he said. Salazar was made for this. Kroll trained him in unsanctioned, wet work since he was 17. No family, no history, just a purpose. Then we break him, I said. Same way we'll break Kroll. Break him how? Lacey asked. I turned to Blair Sutton, who'd just arrived. We go public. You want me to publish this? She asked, holding up the drive. With your name? I nodded. I want Kroll to know I'm not scared. I want him to know we're coming. And I want Salazar to read my words while he's trying to hunt me. She smiled grimly. Let's write you a war cry. And that's exactly what we did. Blair published the first article under the headline, Hunted by the Deep State. The shadow network killing Americans on U.S. soil. It exploded online. Public outrage. Leaks. Deniability collapsing by the hour. Senators suddenly demanded hearings. And in the quiet halls of Washington, D.C., Magnus Kroll read the article with trembling hands. He didn't scream, didn't slam the desk. He picked up the phone. Activate Omega Circuit, he said. His assistant paused. Sir, that burns everything. Kroll nodded. Exactly. Magnus Kroll stood alone in a room designed for wartime decisions. Yet now, it was his own empire under siege. A map on the screen glowed with pulsing red nodes. Assets being scrubbed in real time. Offshore accounts emptied. Servers wiped. Dossier torched. Operatives vanished. This wasn't a drill. This was collapse. The article Blair Sutton published had gone viral in under 4 hours. Hashtags were trending globally. Anonymous groups were leaking their own findings, confirming names, timelines, financial trails. Kroll didn't panic. He adapted. Sir, his assistant said quietly, Omega Circuit protocols are active. Dozens of safe houses already compromised. Blair Sutton's piece triggered simultaneous drops in Frankfurt, Manila, and Johannesburg. We've got whistleblowers surfacing in 3 continents. Then we silenced them. Kroll snapped. We're out of time, sir. The fallout, I built this system. You think I didn't plan for this day? He picked up a remote and pressed a button beneath his desk. A panel opened, revealing a silver case. Inside, a satellite uplink and a black drive labeled Black Lantern. The nuclear option, one upload, and the entire intelligence infrastructure of the United States will be flooded with thousands of fake intelligence packets, false targets, manipulated chatter, counterfeit executive authorizations. It would cripple the system. You're going to burn the country to save yourself? The assistant whispered. Kroll didn't answer. He was already entering the code. Dean, Lacey, Blair, Celeste, and I were gathered around the cracked table. On screen was a live stream of Senator Leanna McClure, once a silent Kroll supporter, calling for a full congressional investigation. He's bleeding, Dean muttered. We got him rattled. Blair's phone buzzed. She checked it. Oh no. What? They activated something called Omega Circuit. Whistleblowers are being taken out. One just went dark in Berlin. Another disappeared from a flight manifest in Ontario. Celeste stood pale. If Kroll's initiated Omega, it means he's pulling everything down, wiping identities, destroying us. Then Blair got another ping. Her eyes went wide. Guys, you need to see this. She turned the screen. A live feed from a hacked satellite node Kroll hadn't buried yet. In the corner, Black Lantern Protocol. 57% upload complete. Dean stared. What is it? Disinformation payload, Celeste said. If that upload completes, intelligence agencies won't know what's real anymore. Every kill list, every field report, poisoned. The entire oversight system collapses. Nobody gets prosecuted. Nobody trusts anything. She looked at me. If that reaches 100%, Kroll walks. We had less than 20 minutes. There was only one way to stop the upload. Access the originating relay, a quantum uplink node based out of a private data center in Lincoln, Nebraska. Problem? It was fortified like NORAD. Dean ran his fingers through his hair. We need someone inside the facility. Celeste didn't hesitate. I know a guy. He used to handle physical security there. Can't call him directly, but I can drop a signal. She left to make the arrangements. Meanwhile, Blair kept digging. Wait, this is big. I just found something in the metadata of Kroll's disinfo files. She zoomed in. A ghost signature. A user ID. Salazar_7. Ray Salazar built the Black Lantern Protocol. I whispered. He didn't just kill for Kroll. He wrote the weapon that protects him. And just like that, I had an idea. You said Salazar was trained for this life. I told Celeste when she returned. She nodded. And he's been trying to kill me for weeks. Right? Then we give him what he wants. She raised an eyebrow. What? We feed him false intel. Make him believe Kroll betrayed him. That his role in Black Lantern is a setup. That he's next on the list. Dean grinned. Flip the assassin. Lacey leaned forward. Can we do that? Blair was already typing. I can forge a packet. Show surveillance footage of Kroll deleting Salazar's account. Add a voice line. He's the only loose end left. Celeste stared at me. If this doesn't work, he'll kill you on sight. I nodded. Yeah, but if it does work, he'll kill Kroll instead. Dean and I pulled up to the edge of the data center's northern security fence. Our contact, a scruffy technician named Milo, let us in through a maintenance hatch. We moved fast. Inside the core room, the Black Lantern drive was humming. 91% complete. Dean opened his bag, removing a compact EMP generator. EMP will fry the drive, he said, but it has to charge for 3 minutes first. I held position while he set it up. Then I saw the red laser sight pierce the darkness. Salazar. He stepped into the room, calm, composed, gun in hand. Hello, Silas. I stepped forward slowly. You got the file? He held up his phone. Yeah, pretty little forgery. But you made one mistake. My heart hammered. What? He grinned. Kroll did betray me. He tossed the phone aside, then shot the Black Lantern drive. Point blank. Sparks and smoke burst out. Dean dove for cover. What the hell? Salazar didn't even look at him. He walked up to me. You win, Rourke. But don't think it makes you special. It just makes Kroll stupid. Where are you going now? I asked. He smiled. I'm going to D.C. to finish what you started. Magnus Kroll walked through a private terminal at Reagan National Airport. Alone. No entourage. No backup. Just an encrypted phone in his hand. He didn't see Ray Salazar until the man stepped from behind the terminal sign. There was no conversation, no warning, just one suppressed shot, straight to the heart. Kroll dropped before the phone hit the floor. Congressional hearings exposed the full extent of the shadow directive. Salazar vanished, his name scrubbed from every file. Celeste Marrow became a protected federal witness. Blair Sutton won a Pulitzer. Dean returned to the mountains. Lacey and I finally stopped running. But before we could rest, Blair called. "There's something else," she said. "Something we missed." I waited. "You remember Dwight? The old cleaner?" "Yeah." He wasn't just a witness. He was Kroll's original partner, the one who started the shadow directive. I froze. "He played us," she said. "The files he gave you? They were real, but they left someone off the list." "Who?" She exhaled. "You, Silas." My blood turned to ice. He knew if he left your name off, the program would never be completely exposed. Just enough to crash Kroll, but keep the door open. Lacey stared at me. "Are we safe?" she whispered. I didn't answer, because I wasn't sure anymore. And that's when the phone rang. Unknown number. I answered, a voice I hadn't heard in months. "Ray Salazar. We're not finished, Rourke." I thought we'd outrun it. We moved into a quiet neighborhood outside Philly, the kind where the loudest thing at night was a dog barking 3 blocks away. Lacey got a full-time position at Mercy General. I picked up security consulting gigs under an alias. Our dog, Banner, claimed the backyard like he'd been born to it. We didn't talk about Black Lantern, or Magnus Kroll, or Ray Salazar, until the day Salazar called. "We're not finished, Rourke." The call lasted 6 seconds, and every second cracked the illusion of peace we'd built. That night, I told Lacey everything. About the original founding of the Shadow Directive. About Dwight Larkin's true identity, Kroll's equal, not his pawn. And about the line Blair found buried in the metadata, Directive 0. Contingency. Subject Rourke remains active asset. Terminate only if compromised. I wasn't on the kill list, I said, staring at the blank TV screen. Because I was part of it. She didn't flinch. "You were military intelligence, Silas. You followed orders. Doesn't make you evil." I nodded. But deep down, I wasn't so sure. Ray Salazar stood outside a storage container in Jersey City. Inside were files stolen from Kroll's private bunker. He was burning them, one by one. But not before reading every line. One folder stopped him cold. Operation, Seedling inside, a contingency blueprint that made everything else look like amateur hour. Seedling's mission, ensure continuity of Shadow Directive under decentralized AI protocol. Activate post-Kroll. Asset assigned. Subject Rourke Silas. Autorisation. Auto-redeploy. Ray cursed out loud. Kroll hadn't just betrayed him. He'd try to replace him. With me. I woke to silence. Banner was gone. Lacey's side of the bed cold. There was only a phone on the pillow. Burner. No caller ID. I answered. "She's fine for now," Ray said. "Ray, you were supposed to be next. I was the weapon. You were the trigger. But you broke protocol. So now I finish it. What do you want?" "I want you to see it, Silas. I want you to know what Kroll turned you into." He hung up. A message buzzed onto the phone. One address. 1 hour. Come alone. I knew it was a trap. I went anyway. The address led to a condemned courthouse in Camden. I stepped inside, weapon drawn. Empty hallways. Dust in the air. The smell of rot and time. Lacey was tied to a chair at the center of the old courtroom. Salazar stood behind her. He didn't raise his gun. He didn't need to. "You know what's funny?" he said. "You're still trying to be the good guy. Still pretending you didn't help build this thing." I didn't know. But you did, Silas. Deep down, you knew something didn't add up. You read the reports. You looked the other way. You pulled out a file, thick, sealed in plastic. I found your original briefing. The one Kroll gave you in Ankara. He told you what this program would become. And you signed it. I stared at the folder like it was radioactive. I was ordered not to read it. Sealed intel only. Salazar stepped forward, tossed it at my feet. "Read it now." My hand shook as I opened it. There it was. My signature. And the project name at the top. Shadow Seed. Tier 0. The first iteration of what became Cassius X. I'd signed it. Approved it. And now the weight of those lives, those names, crushed my chest. "You see," Ray whispered. You're not the hero. You're just a cleaner in denial. He raised his gun toward Lacey. I didn't hesitate. I dropped my pistol, tossed it across the floor. Let her go. She's not the target. You are. Then shoot me. Ray's finger tensed on the trigger. Lacey met my eyes. Then suddenly a noise outside. Ray paused. Too late. A round cracked through the window. Ray stumbled backward, clutching his side. Dean Kavanaugh stepped into the chamber, shotgun drawn. You forgot to sweep the rooftops, Ray. Lacey kicked backward, chair tipping. I rushed her, cut the ropes. Ray tried to stand, gun raised. Dean didn't give him the chance. The second shot was final. Ray Salazar died with a smile on his face. Like he knew something I didn't. Blair reviewed the signed documents I'd recovered. This is it, she said. This proves you helped authorize the Shadow Directives Foundation. They'll spin it. Say you were part of it all along. Maybe I was. Lacey grabbed my hand. No, you didn't run when you found the truth. You fought. Dean nodded. You burned it to the ground. Blair leaned forward. But the public doesn't need another conspiracy. They need a martyr. A warning. I understood. She wasn't asking for silence. She was asking for sacrifice. You want me to disappear? I said. She nodded. Let Kroll be the monster. Let Salazar be the executioner. Let me tell the story. You vanish. No more threats. No more press. You become the ghost who brought them down. And for once, that sounded like peace. Blair Sutton's final article dropped worldwide. The ghost who killed the Shadow. How one man toppled a black ops empire. Pulitzer Prize submission. It never named me. Only described me as a man who once signed a deadly document and spent the rest of his life trying to undo it. Celeste Marrow transferred to a classified task force. Dean returned to the Rockies. Lacey and I moved again. Quiet. Hidden. Banners still chase squirrels like nothing ever happened. Sometimes I wake up wondering when the next knock will come. Sometimes I still hear Salazar's voice in my dreams. But mostly, I sleep, because I know the machine is dead, and the story they try to bury, burn the world down instead.